Good morning. Welcome to Gentle Yoga on a Friday. What could be better? Even though all the days blend together for some of us. Today is Friday, and we're going to do a nice gentle yoga. So if you have a mat, it would be wonderful. You don't have to have a mat. You can use a towel. Carpet will be fine. Good morning. Hey, Tim, Suraj. I think you must set your alarm, Suraj. How are you doing? I'm not going to demonstrate anything in the chair today, but I do have a chair beside my mat. Some of you may want that. If you don't have yoga blocks and you need some extra support in bending forward, maybe you can't touch the floor, a chair is handy. Those of you who also have trouble getting up off the floor when we're all done may want that chair to help you get up. So this is a gentle yoga. It does a lot for my active aging community, but anybody obviously can benefit from this. We will be holding the poses for a little while, sometimes as long as a minute, which doesn't sound long, but it kind of is when you're holding a pose. Good to see that Billy's joining us. Surge gets the notification. Now it makes so much sense. So gentle yoga today. We will hold some poses for a while, but we will get warm first because we don't want to stretch cold muscles. And I'm not going to assume that you've been moving around all morning. Some of you may have, and your muscles are fine and warm, but others may not have been quite as active. And so we need to warm up our muscles first through yoga moves, and then we will stretch. There'll be one downward dog in this series, or this flow. For those of you who don't have good wrists or shoulders and do not like to do downward dog, just come right down to all fours and that will work. I will give lots of options as we go. One thing I noticed when I was just practicing and going through it is I am super tight. I have really decreased in my flexibility during this quarantine. I'm not nearly as flexible as I was. And probably not as fit as I was. I will have to admit, it's hard to hide from the camera anyway, that I've gained some weight over this. Some of you might be in the same boat. So forgive yourself. Give yourself grace. Your body has muscle memory and you can get back to where you once were. It can work. And just enjoy the feel rather than what you look like in it, okay? If you know that you used to be able to touch your nose to your knee in a forward fold, good morning, Melissa, Lisa, Gary, Norma. Someone else popped in, Kathy Bearden. If you're used to like a certain position that you know that you can get to, don't force it. If you're like me, this quarantine has tightened up some muscles and you don't want to overstretch because you can actually tear the muscle. So the rule for the stretches is always you go to your first point of tension, right where you first feel the muscle engage. And as soon as you feel that, that's where you stop first. Never mind that I might have been able to use to touch my nose to my knee. You come to the first point of tension and you hold and just breathe. And as your muscle starts to get over the shock of being there, it'll soften up and you can slowly go deeper as you exhale. So the big deal, good morning, Tom. The big deal is to breathe and not hold your breath. If you're holding your breath, gritting your teeth, forcing it, you're defeating the whole purpose of stretching, okay? So you're gonna breathe. You're not gonna force a stretch. We're gonna hold it for a while. So let your body ease in. Maybe it goes deeper, but maybe you hold it in a place that embarrasses you. All right, I'm gonna be there. I already, just when I practiced this, I am so far behind where I used to be, but we're not gonna compare. So I'm with you. We're gonna take all those comparisons, all that stuff going on in your head, you're gonna throw it to the side, and you're just gonna be, and you're just gonna relax, and you're gonna enjoy the feel. So don't push this to the point where it's painful, okay? So that's our rule for today. Got it? No pushing past the point of pain. This is supposed to just be, experience, lengthen, soften. That's what we should feel. So again, if you're just tuning in, I'm going to be starting here in just a second. You might have some water. I will probably not be prompting you to drink water, but have it handy. If you want to have a chair handy for later to help you get up off the floor, go ahead. If you don't have yoga blocks, it's also handy for things like a pose like a forward fold when you can't reach the floor. Oh, forgot. If you have some kind of a strap, a towel, it'll be helpful for later. If you don't, you're just going to interlock your fingers behind your leg. We're going to do an exercise to increase the flexibility in our hamstrings. All right? So that's the plan. I'm going to be turned sideways for most of the workout so that you can see what I'm doing. All right? So you don't have to go with me when I turn. All right? Whatever feels best for you, however you can follow the best. So you're going to stand at the top of your mat or towel. I'm kind of in the middle just so that I have room to move here. Depends on your space. And right now I want you to really feel the floor. By the way, this is a shoe-friendly yoga. If you want to keep your shoes on, your socks on, you feel free. You don't ever have to take them off, all right? So I want you to rock the weight into your toes, then into the balls of the feet, and then into your heels. Subtly rock forward and back. It's a very light, you can see my whole body's not necessarily rocking. I'm pushing the weight into my toes, balls of the feet, heels. Good. Now try to feel all four corners of your foot. Soften the knees. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, the hands to the heart. Taking your time, move with your breath. Do that a couple more times. And let's all rest with our hands at heart center. Anytime I ask you to have your arms overhead during this whole process, if it hurts your shoulders, you want to rest, your hands at heart center will work. Let's inhale the arms up, do a slight back bend, squeezing the glutes, swan dive forward, leading with the chest, and find your forward fold. Now, I do ask that you not lock the knees, keep the knees soft, and never, ever, ever push your hands on the kneecaps. Hands will be either above the knees, below the knees, or if you have a block or chair to hold on to, do that. Rise up halfway to half monkey. Arms are straightish, back is flattish, legs are straightish. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, soften the knees, squeeze the glutes, arch back, and forward fold again. Maybe nod your head, shake your head yes, no. Rise to half monkey, halfway up, flatten that back. Exhale, forward fold, reverse swan, all the way up. We're gonna sit into chair. Good. Tipping your butt back. Notice my knees should stay over my ankles. They do not come forward. Pull them back. If it's too much, come up out of it. Soften that tailbone. How many of you have tightened up the tailbone here? Inhale, twist toward one side. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale all the way to the other side. Inhale. Exhale back to center. Exhale, lift up. Good. Inhale, lift, exhale to chair. I want warmth in the legs. So this is a little uncomfortable. I want it to be not painful, but warm. We need to warm the muscles so we can stretch. Inhale up, exhale to chair. Those of you who want to can reach toward the floor. Inhale up, exhale to chair. You don't have to touch the floor, and you're not going to bow your heart to the floor. Heart is up. Move with your breath. As you inhale, you come up. As you exhale, you come down. Move with your breath, not mine. Squeezing the glutes on your little back bend. Exhaling to chair. Staying in chair. Hands can be down or heart center. Shift your weight to one leg and send the other leg back. It really doesn't matter which one you're on. Good. Open the chest. You may turn the back foot flat to give you balance. Those of you who are really good at this can sink down until that front thigh is parallel to the floor. You don't have to go that deep. Squeezing the glute, arch back gently, chin up. Good. If you can clasp the hands back, go ahead. You don't have to, just reach toward the back. Brace the abs, tip forward a little bit. Flat back. And now take one arm up and the other arm's back. Square your shoulders and hips to the floor and switch arms. Keep your back straight. Reach. Both arms up if you can. Straighten those shoulders over the hips. Hands to heart center. Good. You might put your back foot in a little bit. Maybe turn the toes toward the front. We're going to reach up, lift up on the back heel. Exhale, squeeze the lats. Inhale, lift, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, down. One more time. Exhale, down. Good. Reach the arms forward, open those shoulder blades. And relax the arms. You're going to bring the legs in a little closer together this way, but widen your stance, the width of the mat. That doesn't have to go quite that far. But for balance purposes, you don't want to be on a balance beam. More like railroad tracks. I want your legs straight, but not locked, okay? There's locked. Soften the knees a bit. Tip forward with a flat back. This is where, if you have yoga blocks handy, use them. Maybe the chair. This is where I'm super tight. Don't know where you are. Some of you may be able to come all the way down. Remember, the rule is to go to the first point of tension, find it and hold it there, and relax into it and breathe. As you feel it begin to yield and soften, you can melt deeper. No hands on the kneecaps, no pressing on the knee. If you have a chair handy or something to lean on, yoga blocks, feel free to do that. Soften a little more. You're going to be here for a few more seconds. I need you to soften and yield. Those who want to, and it's a little bit of a balance challenge, lift your back heel, then press it down and lift the front toe. If you're able to reach the floor or yoga blocks for this, it'll help with the balance. If you need a chair, use that. Or maybe you don't need that for balance. Hands can come to the hip. Good. Place both feet flat on the ground. Flatten your back, rise up into a back extension. Ooh, feet together. Inhale, lift, slight back bend, swan dive forward. Inhale, half monkey. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, sinking to chair. Do you still feel that glute that you just stretched? That was the leg that was in front. So now you're going to shift your weight to the other leg and switch which leg was forward, which leg was back. You can spin the back leg flat. The first round, remember I invited you to go as deep as you wanted. Front leg parallel to the floor if you like. Don't have to go that deep. We used our arms back before. This time I'd love for you to take it overhead. Shoulders down, open those fingers. Energy through the fingertips, but the shoulders are anchored down. Breathe. Press your feet into the mat. Feel the warmth in the legs. Feel the strength lifting from the feet all the way up the back, through those fingers. If you can keep your arms here, tip forward, flat back. Shoulders down from the ears. Reach one arm back. Breathe. Keep reaching those arms. See if you can straighten the elbows. Inhale, exhale, switch the arms. Good, both arms down by the hips, lifting up to a back extension. Good. All right, walk the back leg in a little bit, turn the toes a little more further forward. You're going to lift, squeeze the back glute, lift the back heel, reach the arm forward. Exhale, open, and repeat. Arms come down to the hips. Walk the legs a little closer together, but further apart widthwise on the mat, east to west, okay? Flat back down. This is where if you have yoga blocks or a chair handy to lean on, feel free. Your hand is anywhere but the kneecaps, and you're not locking the legs, but they're straight. Find that first point of tension. Be gentle and graceful with your mind and your body. Find that first point of tension and relax and breathe. As you feel it soften, feel free to melt deeper. If it's not softening, don't force it. Just stay where you are. Give yourself grace. Breathe. This was a full minute stretch on the other side as well, so we'll be here a while. Just relax and breathe. Don't force it. For those who want to, you can spin those toes forward, lift the back heel, and then the front toe, rocking back and forth. If that's too much, just stay where you are. Feel the stretch. Remember, if up here is where you need to be, then this is where you need to be. Hands mid-thigh or upper thigh, never ever the kneecap. If you have a chair handy to lean on, it might be better than trying to, I just don't want you to hyperextend your knee or put any pressure on it. Stay and melt. Step, bring your hands to your hips and rise up first, and then step together. Inhale up, exhale, fold forward. Half monkey. We're gonna come to our only down dog today, and if you don't want to come to down dog, you're gonna come down to all fours. Just a kneeling position, all fours. Otherwise, your hands reach the mat, step your legs back. A nice way to tell of a good down dog is starting in a plank and then just pike up. If you do have bad wrists, try putting some more pressure into your knuckles and taking it off the wrist, splaying your hands wide, and walk your dog. If you're in a tabletop, just hold that tabletop for a while. Good. Now we're all gonna meet in tabletop. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and angry cat. Exhale, arch up. Inhale, press down. One more time. Good. Now, pick one foot up, foot to the ceiling. Notice the bottom of my foot presses up to the sky. If you're really good and you want an extra challenge, you're going to take the opposite hand and reach back to that foot. Notice right now I'm not even touching it. Some of you might be able to grab at that ankle and really arch up. You don't have to. If your wrists are really giving you problems, come to your forearm. Breathe. Remember, you're always welcome to this pose as well, forearms with one leg up. You don't have to reach the arm back or here. And release. Push back to child's pose. Roll out those wrists. Coming back to all fours, other foot up to the sky. Remember, if you have bad wrists, put a little pressure on the knuckles, take it off of the wrists, or come to your forearms. Take your opposite arm and reach back toward that foot. You do not have to grab it, but some of you might be able to. Squeeze and lift. Push the floor away. Even if you're on your forearms, you want to get out of that shoulder. Breathe. Those quadriceps are so tight. And release. Child's pose, you can keep toes together, knees apart. If you have bad knees, curl your toes a little bit. Gives you a little extra room to soften through those knees and hips. Roll those wrists. We're going to get into like a little 90 degree pose. So you're going to pull one leg forward and the other leg behind you. So your heel is kind of in front of your middle and your back heel is behind you. And breathe. Now some of you may be able to reach. Let's do it. Yeah. So the leg that's in front, it's that same arm that the leg is in front. Reach it out to the side of you and maybe lift up and over. You could even come to your forearm. Stay out of the shoulder, don't sink in the shoulder. It should almost be comfortable. You could take that top arm anywhere you want. So if you don't want to go overhead, just let it rest on the side. Leaning back here should feel pretty good. Breathe. So really trying to open this hip flexor. The hip flexor for me is the one toward the front, towards you. Gently lift yourself out of it. Now from here, some of you can go into a full pigeon. So the leg that's in front would stay there and your other leg would come back into your pigeon. Some of you can do this. You could be up, you can lay down, forearms, yoga block. For a lot of you, this is not good for your knees or hips, so don't force it. Instead, the rest of you are going to swing that back leg all the way through to the front. And then you have a couple choices. Cross the other ankle on top and sit it up with a nice straight back, trying not to slouch, okay? If you can't do it without slouching, onto your back you go. You can rest right here. This might be enough for some of you. Might be all you need. The others might need to pull that leg in. So everyone's in the pigeon of your choice. Whether you're lying forward in my first example, sitting up, or reclined pigeon. We're going to be here at least another 45 seconds. So I really need you to breathe. Remember, you go to that first point of tension and then relax in it. As it softens, you continue to melt in the pose. Opening that hip, softening through the hip. Taking one last deep breath. Everyone's going to meet on their back. If you have that strap handy or a towel, that same leg that was in your front pigeon, whether you're laying down or reclining, take that leg up to the sky. You can keep the other leg bent, which is a little easier, or if you're able to straighten it, it's better if you can. I don't want to say better doesn't sound good. All right, you're going to straighten that leg as much as you're able. If you need to interlock your fingers because you don't have a strap or towel handy, that's what you will do. If you have a strap or towel handy, there it goes. You're going to press, remember it's not behind the knee, 5. Press that leg into your hands or strap, driving it forward. You're trying to fight. it. Okay, drive, 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 drive. You're welcome to have the strap higher on the leg. Keep pressing, keep breathing, and then relax the leg. You might be able to draw it in closer. Relax your neck here. Some of you are going to be tightening that neck. I need you to relax it. Take a deep breath. Exhale, press the leg into the strap or your hands interlocked. Keep driving, keep driving. Keep breathing and release. See if you can draw it in closer. Relax your neck. And release. We're going to do a nice reclined butterfly. Grab both ankles, pressing your forearms or elbows into that inner thigh to open your legs. Relax your neck. Feel free to rock side to side. Bringing the knees into the chest, curl up into a tight little ball. Some of you can rock and roll all the way to a seated position. If you have arthritis in your spine, that's not recommended. So the rest of us will roll to the side and push ourselves up to seated position. So I had my right leg in front earlier, and so now I'm going to take my left leg in front into that 90 degree angles with my knees. Trying to sit up tall first may not be possible. Do the best you can. And then coming onto the same leg that's in the front leg, the same arm, down to the side. You could go to your hand or forearm. Find that pose where you can feel this back hip flexor open up. Maybe you reach the arm over, maybe not, maybe not. Make sure that whatever shoulder you're on this side, you're not sinking into the shoulder. Push that shoulder away. Top arm can be anywhere. Once again, find where you feel the stretch. Maybe you walk back and lift the chest back. Maybe you come forward. Breathe. Push this hip forward, this back hip. Lift it up. Push it forward. Deep breath, and on the exhale, we're rising up and we're going into our pigeon. Remember, maybe one leg is different than the other. It happens. If you're able to do a full pigeon here, go for it. The rest of us will slide that leg around, either sitting up, if you can keep your back straight. If you can't keep your back straight, I'm going to insist that you go to your back. Relaxing here with the foot on the floor. If you're able to lift that bottom leg up, go ahead. Try to relax the neck while you do this. We'll be here at least another 30 seconds. So breathe and soften. Try to soften the neck. And as your hip softens, maybe you can go a little deeper into the pose. Good. Those of you who are in your full pigeon, you're going to sweep your leg around. We're all going to meet on our back and extend that leg up to the sky. Remember, the bottom leg can be planted on the floor. If you're able to straighten it out, go for it. Interlock your fingers or use your strap again. We've done this already. Try to straighten the leg as much as you're able first. Press your heel to the sky. Take a deep breath. Exhale, drive your leg into the strap or your hands. Drive and drive. Keep breathing even though it's shallow little puffs of breath. And then release. See if you can release that leg any closer towards your chest. Be careful of your neck. Try not to keep arching it. Take a deep breath. Exhale, press, drive that leg. Keep breathing, little puffs of air in, little puffs out, and release. Hold, see how much further you can pull that leg in. Relaxing the neck, lengthening the legs. release. Bring both knees into the chest again. Roll side to side. And then I need you to roll onto your tummy for a modified cobra. So we're just going to lift our heart up off the mat. Let me turn this way a little bit so you can see. We're lifting our heart up off the mat. I'm on my forearms. Try to put the weight through the entire forearm, not just on the elbows. Push into the hands. Lift up out of the shoulders. Squeeze the glutes. Now those of you who can do a full cobra or an up dog, you're welcome to go there. I'm going to stay right here, trying to be kind and gentle to our bodies this morning, knowing that they're probably not used to stretching this much. Breathe. Try to stay strong in those shoulders. Breathe in, breathe out. And then lower yourself down. Maybe your right or left cheek on your hands. Pick up your feet and go and just windshield wiper the legs. Good. Lower those feet. One more time. We won't be here as long now. Just one deep breath in. Exhale. Lowering down opposite cheek to your hands. Windshield wiper the legs. And we're just going to push back into child's pose again. Toes together, knees apart if you like. Curl the toes. For those of you who need that extra room for your knees, maybe your knees aren't really good. You don't have to come all the way back. Maybe you do. Up onto all fours, cat and cow one last time. And we're going to come onto our back. Into Shavasana. So I want you to find a comfortable relaxation pose. If you have a bad low back, sometimes lying flat on your back does not feel comfortable. So you can plant your feet. Sometimes to be able to balance that, feet apart, knees together. If you have a pillow to put under your knees is fine. Some people like reclined butterfly. So find your relaxation pose of choice. And just breathe. Close your eyes if you can. I'm not doing anything special now. This is what we're doing. Just relax. I want you to feel the point of contact into the floor. Notice where your body presses into the floor. Heels maybe. Notice that your entire back is not on the floor. There's parts that are lifted off. Scan your body from your head down over your face, behind the head, over your neck. And then as if it's a warm light traveling over your body all the way down to the bottoms of the feet. Imagine a nice sparkling light as you draw the breath in, lifting that breath up from the bottoms of the feet all the way up to the top of the head. And as you exhale, begin to wiggle those fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Draw one knee into the chest, circling the ankle. And then draw the other knee in as well. Both knees into the chest, rock side to side. And we're going to roll to one side, pushing ourselves up to a simple seated pose of choice. So for me, I'm crossing my legs. Some of you might need to sit with your legs straight. You might need to get in the chair if you're not used to sitting on the floor. Hands rest wherever you like. Some people like to drape them on their knees or heart center. Lifting your spine nice and tall. You have done good things for your body. And your body is under a lot of stress right now as well. So give it grace when it doesn't cooperate with you. Be gentle and kind to your body today. Treat it well by eating healthy choices. Lean proteins, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and lots of water. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. If you want a nice workout tomorrow, 11:30 Central Time, Tabata.